Hey everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Mindy Banks. I'm the Flip Flop Chef, and today I'm going to show you how to make homemade hummus using Pampered Chef's Deluxe cooking blender and homemade air fried pita chips in Pampered Chef's air fryer. So I've got two appliances here that I'm going to show you today. If you are new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and the bell so that you know anytime I add new content for you guys. And if you have not checked out my recipe community yet, I hope that you will. I have a weekly giveaway every single Friday and also have thousands of recipes and other videos for you guys to check out. You can find that by going to theflipflopchef.com. So let's go ahead and get started. I've got everything prepped, so this should come together really quick and easy. If you're not familiar with the Deluxe cooking blender, I have a whole playlist of videos showing you all the features. It's a smart blender and it has pre-programmed settings as well as custom settings. So you can use it just like any other blender that you've ever used before, but it does so much more. Same thing with the air fryer. I have a whole playlist of videos going into great detail. Today I'm just going to show you a couple of features for both of these appliances. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and I'm more than happy to get back to you with those answers. So we're going to start by adding all of our ingredients to the blender for the hummus. We'll go ahead and make that, and then I'll show you how to make the pita chips. So for this recipe, we are going to use the recipe from Pampered Chef's Deluxe Cooking Blender Cooking Guide, and this does come with your cooking blender, so it's really easy for you to follow along. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a can of Great Northern beans. Now I went ahead and opened these and drained them. I didn't need to reserve the liquid for this one, but for the chickpeas it does say to reserve the liquid just in case you need to add a little bit more moisture to the hummus when it's done. So I'm going to show you how to use our can opener here. You're going to attach this to the front of the can and on the top. So this is what it looks like when you're looking down, and this is what it looks like when you're looking at it from the side. So it's totally different than your traditional can opener. I start at the front so that I know when I've gone all the way around. You'll feel a tension release, but as you're getting used to this, it's just a really good guide so that you know, okay, I've gone all the way around, because it doesn't really cut the metal like a traditional can opener. It releases the glued seal and the lid and the can come apart. Once you've gone all the way around, turn counterclockwise to release the can opener. There's a button on the side. You're just going to hook that on the side and you can peel that lid right off. We're going to drain this and reserve the liquid so that if it's not wet enough, we can add a little bit more of that. So I'll just give that a little shake. And then I'll set this aside. I don't want to put it in the sink by accident in case we need that. So I'll set that aside. Next, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. You can use fresh squeezed lemon juice, or you can just use the real lemon that you buy in the grocery store. That's what I'm using today. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm going to peel a garlic clove. I'm going to use Pampered Chef's garlic peeler. You slide the clove in here and you're just going to roll this on the countertop. Now, if you are new to my channel, I am a consultant with the Pampered Chef and I do earn commission on the products that I sell. I would love the opportunity to be your consultant and help you get these products for your kitchen as well. You can click the shop buttons or you can reach out to me and I'm more than happy to help you with your order. So we've got our garlic in here. We're going to add a half a tablespoon of Pampered Chef's garlic and herb rub. Now this is not listed in the recipe, but it was a suggestion that somebody made to me when we first launched the blender, and it really does add such a great flavor. So half a tablespoon, which is 1.5 teaspoons of our garlic and herb rub. We're going to do 1 tablespoon of sesame seeds, so 1 tablespoon, and then we're going to do a teaspoon of salt. And this comes together so quick. All right. Let's put our lid on here. We might need to use our tamper, and so I'll explain that here too. Let me move the blender over a little bit closer so that you guys can see. This is a smart blender. It won't work without the lid, so if I have the lid off, it's just going to say lid on there. Right now I don't even have this plugged into the base, but this is a super cool blender. It has all the pre-programmed settings here: smoothie, alternative milk, grind, heated wash, jam, sauce, soup, heated puree. There's a pulse button and custom blend and custom heat. So you have lots of choices here. If you're just wanting to make something like you would in a normal blender, just use that custom blend. You don't need to worry about the pre-programmed settings. But if you're making something fancy, then we've got some great pre-programmed settings that make it really easy for you. Now we're going to use the grind setting. So I'm going to turn this to grind. This is a 2 minute and 20 second pre-programmed setting, we may or may not need to use it that long. This is gonna be one of those things where you watch it and you decide, okay, I want the smoother, I want it, you know, leave it chunky, then you wouldn't blend as much. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the tamper in here. You don't wanna tamp more than 30 seconds at a time, I believe is what it says. Yeah, don't tamp more than 30 seconds at a time because it's going to actually make it harder to get this smooth. You only want to tamp when the food leaves the middle of the blender and it's away from those blades. So basically you're tamping to get it back to the middle, and for this, you're actually going to tamp in a circular motion. So I want to tell you all this before I start the blender because it is a little bit loud. Just know that the total cycle is 2 minutes and 20 seconds. We may not need that much time. So I'm gonna go ahead and press start, and I'm not gonna tamp until I need to. So just hang tight. I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can see what's happening here. Now is when I tamp. Pause this, and I'm going to add just a little bit of our reserved juice. So just scoop some of this up, and we'll pour a little bit in. You don't want to pour too much because you don't want to overdo it. Let's see what we got now. So I've got 26 seconds left on the blender. I want to check this with the lid off. I feel like that this is a good consistency, but oh yeah, this is great. So I say we are finished with that. To clean this blender, you can use the heated wash setting on the blender, and you're just going to add 3 cups of water and a drop of dish soap, and that's it. Press start on that heated wash setting, and it's super easy to clean. But let's go ahead and transfer this to our serving bowl. So I'm going to make a little room here and clean up my mess, because we also have to make the pita chips. And I do have a batch of the pita chips already ready, so you can see what the finished product looks like. All right, this is our long skinny scraper. It was made for this blender, so it reaches down inside. You're going to be able to get all the food around the blades out. This smells so good. If you like hummus, you're going to really, really enjoy this recipe. All right. I want this to look kind of pretty. So I'll scrape the rest of this out off camera, but I want it to look pretty for pictures. So I'm going to just leave that just like that. Rinse my hands real quick, and then I'll show you how to serve this, and then how you can make those pita chips. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the larger bowl. So these are part of our entertaining collection. This is the medium bowl, and this is one of the smaller bowls. These are both the gray stone color. I like to place this one inside of the medium one. And then I have some pita chips that I made ahead of time and stored in one of our leak-proof storage containers. So what you can do is you can just fill the bowl around the small bowl with these pita chips, and I'm gonna make some more, so we'll have plenty, but you get an idea. Oops, got something in my eye. You'll kind of get an idea of what this looks like for serving purposes. Now, we're gonna use Greek pita bread and some Greek seasoning from Pampered Chef, but check that out. So we've got our hummus and our Greek pita. So let me show you how to make these really quickly, and that can finish off camera since you've seen the finished product already. All right, so this is the pita bread that I'm using. It's Greek pita. So these don't actually have a pocket like traditional pita bread. This is more like naan bread. I'm gonna take 3 of them, and I always reseal my bread bags with these Twixie clips because I hate twist ties, and I especially hate those little plastic square hook ties that you can get. They're terrible. So always use your Twixie clips on your bread bags. We're gonna take our pizza cutter here, and I'm gonna cut these into triangles. So we'll do it in half, then into quarters, and then into 8s here. So we're gonna put these in a bowl. We're gonna spritz these with some oil and toss them in our Greek rub. I should have grabbed a different cutting mat. This cutting mat somehow got washed with the plastic backing on it, and for some reason I didn't take it off. So these do come with a little plastic backing that peels off. I did not take care of that one, and it is slipping and sliding around. All right, so we've got our pita bread here. We're gonna take our kitchen spritzer. I'm gonna go ahead and pump this so it's nice and full, nice and pressurized, so that I can get a lot of oil out of here. We're gonna toss it and spray at the same time, and that way we get the oil all over it. So the cool thing about using air fryers is you can reduce the amount of oil that you would use to fry something if you were deep frying it. So we're gonna air fry it, but you still need a little bit of oil on some recipes. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna spray these and then just sort of toss them. You wanna make sure you get oil on all sides. And then we're gonna toss it with our Greek rub, which is what I used on the other ones. So these are real easy to make. So I'm gonna pop this. Oops, see if I can do this without having to stop and wash my hands. Sprinkle the Greek seasoning over the pitas that have been spritzed with oil. And make sure you get these coated nicely so that you get that extra flavor. I mean, you could just air fry them, spritz them with oil and air fry them as they are. I love Greek pita. It's super soft, and you can make all kinds of things with it. All right, so let's get this in the air fryer here. First, we're gonna put it in our rotating basket, which is a standard accessory that comes with Pampered Chef's air fryer. So if you wanna know lots more about our air fryer, then I have a whole playlist on my channel. I'm actually gonna move the air fryer so that you guys can get a closer look. So I had it plugged in over here, and I can zoom in, but since I'm done with the blender, I'm just gonna move this closer because I feel like you're gonna get a much better look here. Okay, here we go. We're gonna take our rotating basket, and I do spray the basket. You don't necessarily have to spray the basket on some recipes, but I don't want to risk something sticking to the basket. It makes the basket hard to clean, and then it messes with your food. So go ahead and spray the basket. I like to do this over the sink, if I can get a hold of that. Spray those sides, the ends and all sides there. All right, then we're gonna take our pita, toss them right in just like that. Close our basket. My hands are greasy now. And we're gonna use our Deluxe air fryer. And we're gonna slide this in. Let's see. Once you get it in, you slide it into the left, hook it on the right, and then when you can slide it like this, then you know that it's attached properly. So what we'll do, we're gonna put this on the rotisserie setting, and 10 to 12 minutes should be long enough. If you overload the basket with too much pita bread, it's gonna take a lot longer because they can't really completely toss. So I use 3 pieces and then just do a couple of different batches if I need to make more. So I'm gonna turn this to rotisserie. That's a 400-degree setting for 45 minutes. You do not wanna do this for 45 minutes. So the good thing is you can adjust the time, but the reason I chose rotisserie is to save me from having to press the rotate button, because the rotisserie setting is always going to rotate whatever is hooked in there. So I'm going to press start. We're going to start with 10 minutes, and then if I need to add 2 more at the end, then I'll do that. But you're not going to be able to tell because of the camera, but when I look in here, I can turn the light on and I can see that the basket is rotating. Always check, even if you're on the rotisserie setting, to make sure the basket is turning, because if it's not, your food is probably going to burn. It's not going to cook right because it really needs to rotate and turn. So that's how you make the pita chips. You guys have already seen the finished product, so you don't have to hang around for the second batch. And this is our homemade hummus made in Pampered Chef's Deluxe Cooking Blender. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel while you're here, and be sure to go to theflipflopchef.com. Join my recipe community for thousands of recipes and a giveaway every single Friday. Look forward to seeing you next time. Take care, you guys.